All right, hey guys, OFD checking in here, and today we have three new watches from MMI. This is from the NOR-LIGHT series, and these watches actually just, I think, a day or two ago reached their Kickstarter goal, and so these watches are a total go. Going to be delivered in May of 2024, late May of 2024, and price on these watches is about $350 now if you want to go over to the website and get yours in for pre-order. So if you got it on the Kickstarter deal, I'm sure you got a better price, but $350 for what you're getting on these watches is a really, really good deal. MMI is a micro brand company out of Singapore, and every watch I've ever looked at from them is super, super high quality. So we have three different versions of the NOR-LIGHT here. One thing I will tell you is that all of the case specifications are the same. So I'll cover that first on the first blue one to the right-hand side here. We'll go through the case specifications. And then from there on, I won't talk about the case size on the rest of the watches. We'll just look at the details in the dial of each of the other watches. So really cool looking watches. NOR-LIGHT series. This one happens to be my favorite. This is the blue one. And if I get it up here a little bit closer, you guys can see all the texture and the design in that dial. And once we get this thing loomed up, you guys will see that it really looks like Northern Lights. It's really, really cool. So there's actually a sapphire sandwich down there between the dial and the crystal itself. So that's pretty cool. It gives you a lot of sheen there. You guys can see those thinly applied indices on the watch. Nice baton hands. They're full of BGW9 Lume. They're also polished. You can catch that glimmer of the handset. Nice sweep of that second hand reaching all the way out there to the minute track. This is running a Miyota 9039, so that's a true no-date high beat movement from Miyota. Very tried and true movement, and these things keep excellent time. Looking at the case finishing here, you guys can see a fixed but polished bezel on the watch. You have brushing at the top of the lugs and a nice chamfer coming into the polishing along the sides of the watch. The case size on this watch comes in at 39.5 millimeters side to side. This will be the same on all of these watches. You have 46.5 lug tip to lug tip. Nice and thin watch at 11.7, or basically about 12 millimeters. And you have 20 millimeter lug openings on the watch. So very, very nicely done. All three watches do come on this Jubilee style, I'll call it bracelet, but each one does also have, here in the background, you can see a leather strap and a NATO strap that comes with them. So the brushing on the sides of this bracelet, polishing down through the center on those Jubilee links, coming down to a nice logoed bracelet, clasp here, safety, fold over, double push button. You have machine bars here, and coming into the case back of the watch there, you can see the sapphire dial on there, which is really neat. Of course, it's got a top sapphire crystal. Running the Miyota 9039, like I said, water resistant. All these watches to 100 meters, and I think each one's going to be limited to 250. I know at least this one has a 2 of 250 there on the bottom, as you guys can see it, but really, really nice looking timepiece. Let's go ahead and grab the next one over now. This one is running the Miyota 9015. You can see date functionality here. And what's cool about these ones, and I've had these on before, is the date functionality is actually on this translucent disc here underneath. So you'll just see, I actually set it for today for the first. So that's pretty cool. Again, Miyota 9015, 9015, which is a high beat movement, same as the other one, 28,800 vibrations per hour, approximately 42 hours of power reserve. And the case on this one is exactly the same dimension. So it's a little bit hard to see, but this again is a sapphire dial, on this watch, and it's translucent, so you can actually see the movement inside of there. So flipping it over, take a look at the case back on this one again. You have that Northern Lights display there on that display case back, which is pretty cool. And let's see, is this one numbered? Yep, 2 of 250. So these are prototype models. Like I said, these are not going to be delivered until May of 2024, so each one of these is a prototype. Now, this is another one of my favorites. This is the Awagami Washi paper dial. So underneath the that sapphire crystal there is this really fine Japanese paper, and it's got a really neat texture to it. I think I'm going to try to bring it up here a little bit closer and see if we, whoop, that's the wrong way, Dunlap. See if we can catch that. You can catch a little bit of that design in that paper. Again, seeing the details a little bit closer of those hands on the watch, which is just, the polishing is done nice. Each of those indices is just full of BGW9 Lume, so you're going to get a real nice glow from each of these watches. So let me go ahead and throw one of these on my 7-inch wrist so you get an idea of what that 39 millimeter case side is going to look like from side to side. Now, of course, these are not sized to me. These are going around on a watch tour. They'll be at Marshall Time next, so keep a lookout for his review of this. Great size, right around 40 millimeters. I love a 40 millimeter watch, so it looks good. Bracelet feels like it'd be extremely comfortable, like, you know, most Jubilee bracelets are, but very, very nice looking timepieces, especially for that price of $350. Lucky to you guys that got them at the Kickstarter price, which was a really good deal. So let's dim the lights and see what the Lume looks like on these watches. So we'll do these one by one. I'll tell you guys, my camera is not happy in the darkness for some reason. It doesn't do good, but you guys will get a good idea of the Lume. I mean, look at that. Isn't that freaking cool? Get that Northern Light design on there. This one is one of my favorites just because of that. And then you can see each of the indices does have luminant BGW9, so looking really good there. So we'll set that one down in the background. Bring up the black dial version. Let's go ahead and hit that one with the Lume. And I think you'll know what to expect on this one. Yeah, nice indices glowing there, BGW9. Those baton hands nicely loomed there. Get this camera to work here. Like I said, my camera does not like to focus in the darkness. Not really quite sure why it does that. So let's go ahead and get the last one. This one is the Awagami Washi paper dial, and I think we're going to see, you know, about the same here with this one. So I think as long as I keep the watch at a safe distance like this, it's not going to go out of focus. But very nice Lume on all of these watches. Let's go ahead and bring up the lights and close out the video. All right, so there you go, guys. The Norlites from MMI watches. $350 over at the website, and you guys can see you're getting a lot of watch for the money. One of the most unique things about all these watches is that sapphire dial, so I really like that. So nice stuff. I'll leave a link to their website down below in the description, and like I said, watch for these watches on the Marshall Time channel coming up next. So, all right, guys, you like the video, give me a thumbs up down there at the bottom, and if you've not subscribed to the OFD channel yet, please do. Please do. Thanks, guys.